Good evening, children. So, today we shall start a new chapter, that is unpacking gender. What we shall learn in this chapter is about gender roles. So, if you look around, we have two genders, male and female, right? So, if you see, men are supposed or are assigned to do heavy jobs, whereas women or female are assigned to do lighter works. Now, who decides what to do and what not to do? So, that's what we shall discuss here in this chapter. Now, if you let's go back to the primitive era, a primitive age when cavemen. So, even at the time, survival was not that easy. In fact, it was more tough because man had to go out to hunt for food, and that too with their bare hands or the crude weapons that they use. So, this was not an easy job because wild animals, in fact, they are much stronger than men, and searching for food for them was an almost everyday affair. Every day they had to go out and search or hunt down for food. So, men used to go out in the jungle to hunt down animals, and whereas women used to stay back at home and look after child. Because if women also go out to hunt elements, to hunt animals with men, then of course women with child would be difficult for them to even escape if the animal tries to come and attack. So, for that, if you look back, since the ancient time, women were mostly associated with the jobs that has to be done at home, looking after child, cooking food, caring of the children. So, in fact, the division of labor between men and women was need based. So, since the ancient time, the division between men and women, or male or female, has been there. What work will be done by which gender? But gender roles in modern day societies is quite different. So now, because we no longer live in caves or on treetops, and jobs that keeps today's social order running no longer require heavy physical strength. If you see now, jobs are not like of that primitive men used to do. However, the division of work between housekeeping and outdoor continues to be still the same way as it was in the primitive society. And the division of work still is based on gender. Even though the biological differences between male and female are not are not that much, but still we have a gender division. Now, there are certain jobs which are considered for men, and some jobs which are considered only for women. For example, to be a soldier, men prefer. To be a teacher or a nurse, at one point of time, it was women. Now, although at present women are becoming army officers, women are becoming pilot, yet they are not being allowed to lead the front. Or still, men, our society is not willing to accept them as fighter pilots or as a combat officer. But now these division between men and women is a social construct, and not because of any kind of biological differences. Now, women are progressing. They are police officers, there are CEOs, there are pilots, even prime ministers, president, who are much more successful than men at present era. Now, society is also responsible for the division of work. Now, see, tribal women or people or the women who lives in villages, they are not scared of going out in the jungles or doing heavy work. But as compared to that, women living in towns or in the urban areas, they won't be able to do the work that a tribal women do or does. Now, the constitution of democratic countries like India, where equality is provided between male and female, but however, still, actual practice continues to suffer discrimination. Now, even like country like USA that acclaims, or that they are the biggest democratic country in the world, yet till now, no one has ever been elected as the president of the USA. Whereas India, we did have many leaders in the past, women leaders like Indira Gandhi, the prime minister, Pratibha Singh Devi Patil, the president. Likewise, we also have many chief ministers in our country, women chief ministers like Mamata Banerjee. Then we had Mayawati. Then we had Jayalalitha, and many more women chief minister. So the reason why this gender division has been there or is there is because of some factors. Now, the factors are: one is family expectation that divides the gender role, then we have community expectation, and society that divides the gender work. Now, the role or the work assigned to men and women are determined by a number of factors, as I have just told you. Now, if you see in a rural society, all the outdoor works has to be or is assigned to be done by men, whereas the work inside the house has to be done by women, like cooking, washing, taking care of children has to be done by women, whereas plowing the field, going out and work in the field, or other works that needs hard labor is or has to be done by men. Then likewise, when two different children, like male and female, when they're brought up, so girls are supposed to play with dolls and boys are supposed to go and play outside or with footballs. So when a mother needs help in the kitchen, girls are supposed to help the mother, not the boy. So why is it so? Because that's how the family has been doing since the ages, and that's what still people are following it. There must be someone to break the norm. Why not the boy help mother in the working in the kitchen? So that's what people have been following since ages, and that's what we are still following. So boys are not expected to help mother in the household chores, or even when parents are out, the child of the family has to take the responsibility of looking after the younger siblings, but not the boy. And that's why in village areas, girls' enrollment in school is less. Why? because the boy goes to school, and females or the girl child are being or have to remain back at home to help mother in work, daily work, chores, or to look after the child, and that's why girls are being deprived from going to school. Now, apart from family expectation or society expectation, then we also have community expectation that also determine gender roles. Now, if we see among the various communities, the Christian community or the Christian society is more open or offer greater freedom to their female or to their women in comparison to other communities. Christian women, they can go out, work, but at present every community is allowing them. But if you go a little bit back in the very beginning, then it was only the Christian society that allowed their women to go out and to be more free. And some society also does not allow their women to go out because they also have the fear that something wrong would happen. Then if you see in villages, we have schools that are unisexual, and co-educational institutions exist only in big cities. But even if we have here also in small towns where you have unisexual schools where only girls or only boys study. But school like us, like Pragrutika or any other schools we have, you see where co-educational is allowed, where male or boys and girls study together. Now there is an advantage and a disadvantage also of co-educational school. Now the advantages of co-educational school is that it provides opportunity to both boys and girls to understand each other properly. There would be no fear between the opposite gender, and it can create a strong bondage of friendship. The disadvantage of co-education school may be like unnecessary attraction that can hamper or affect their studies. And sometimes in co-education school, teasing can be also become a matter of concern. So thus, we know that women almost comprise half of the world as when it comes to population, and the progress of any community would be greatly affected if large part of the community is being deprived of any kind of opportunities. So for the welfare of women and as well as for the world, everyone must be given equal opportunity. And in the present scenario, in modern world, yes, many countries, even India, are allowing their women to confront and to take part in every field that they are capable of. And that's why today we have women, we have women as doctors, teachers, professors, pilots, CEOs, even president and prime minister and chief ministers. It's high time now that the society or the world should ban the old age or age old tradition where women are not allowed to take part in any kind of decision or any kind of other work, because gender bias, that is gender inequality, will create an unequal and unjust society, and may also give rise to social conflict. So, to eradicate this gender inequality, both men and women must be treated equally and must be given equal opportunity in every field. Just like men are allowed to work in every field, women must be also allowed to work in every field. And that's how the world can progress and both the gender can work together hand in hand. That's all in this chapter. Thank you.